As a BCBA for over 20 years, this is my biggest piece of advice for dealing with any sort of challenging behavior. Remember, it's not about you. We are there to bring out the best in our students, to teach them the skills so they can live happier, more productive, more engaged lives. And when our students misbehave, I think it's really easy for the adult to just naturally, instinctively want to exert their dominance, maybe by being sarcastic. I've seen that a lot in some adults, or giving out a punishment that is a lot of times disproportionate to the situation. But when you take yourself out of it, take your ego out of it, and don't worry about how you are looking in front of the other kids or how you're looking in front of the other teachers or staff, and instead have your mind on the long-term ultimate goal, which is your student success, it's going to be easier for you to figure out how to respond to a challenging behavior. For example, I had a student in my group recently who took something of mine as I was explaining the activities that we were going to do that day. They took it and they threw it across the table and it ended up on the floor. Now, there was no outward precursors to this behavior. I'm sure there was something probably internally, but it was nothing externally that I had noted that this student was in distress. It sort of came out of the blue and surprised me. So I told that student, please go pick that item up. And then the student looked at me and said, no. Now, because I know this student, and that's my other big piece of advice, you have to know your students really well. I knew this student was going to want to engage in the activities that I had planned. So I just let that student know very calmly, without any judgment, without kind of a challenge in my voice or a tone in my voice, that, okay, like you don't have to pick it up, but just so you know, I need to see and make sure that everybody can be responsible with my materials if they're going to engage in, do the activity basically. But here's the thing, I didn't then look at that student and wait for them to pick it up. I said that contingency to the student and they didn't respond. They just ignored me, and that was fine. I just went on with the lesson as normal. I did not want that student to be put on the spot. That's the other thing. You need to let them save face, right? No big deal. You either pick it up or you don't pick it up. Either way is fine. But there is a contingency there, right? So the student did go pick up the item. Unfortunately, they picked it up and they promptly threw it back the other direction. But guess what? I just said the same thing really low, the same contingency. And that person picked it up and then was more careful from then on. And at the end of the day, they engaged in the activities, and it was a great session.